Hi folks, this is Jay. Hope you're okay today. I want to recommend a book to you, and this book is is called Epistemic Justification by Richard Swinburne. Now, I must make a qualifier. I don't agree with Richard Swinburne's uh, theology. He's not an inerrantist like I am, so I'm not advocating all his theology or anything like that. But he is a theologian and a philosopher, and this book is really helpful. On the internet, there's been a lot of debates between presuppositionalist and the skeptical community, and to be honest, quite honest, a lot of those debates um, are really just getting tiring from both sides. The responses from the atheist and skeptical community is a travesty, really, of the philosophical issues involved, and the presuppositionalist um, they're not professional philosophers, so they're just giving a rundown version of some of these philosophical issues. So you have both sides. You have people like, I don't want to name names, but you have these atheists on YouTube who think they're some kind of philosophers because they've got an MA in philosophy, and basically they're a travesty because they're not actually dealing with things in a really proper academic way. And the presuppositionalists are just regurgitating things that they've read, and they're not professional academics in philosophy. And so what we're getting is just tired arguments from both sides. And I think it's important to explore the subject and read the best resources that you can and get familiar with the subject. And so I would encourage you to read this book. It's a really good introduction to epistemology. Um, the book covers externalism and internalism, looking at how we justify our beliefs, and there's a subtle difference between knowledge and warrant and justification. These are key words within the debate and discussion of epistemology. So there's issues called externalism and internalism. Externalists see verification from outside, internalists see verification within a sort of logical construction, like a premise, like two premises and a conclusion. There is then, it gets technical, there is diachronic and synchronic justification. Then there is a discussion on justification, warrant, and knowledge. And then there is a summing up of the whole scenario of what Swinburne thinks is um, is his understanding and best way of looking at a theory of knowledge. Now, you might say, well, why should I do this? It just seems really complex, racking my head. But if we haven't got a good theory of knowledge, then we are open to um, scientific anarchy, knowledge anarchy, where things just are just running crazy because we just haven't got a good defence against any strategies that might undermine knowledge, such as postmodernism, for example. So this book is a very, very good book. I'm not saying I agree with the book, but the book will give you a more in-depth understanding of the subject of epistemology than the crass pseudo-philosophers of the atheist on the atheist side and the mimicking of certain Christian apologists on the Christian side and presuppositionalists. This will get you into the topic in a much more informative academic way, in a simple way. Even though I've read some complex words there, it's not a very difficult book to read, but it'll introduce you to the topic, and you'll be much more informed to be able to gauge who's saying the right. Is it the presuppositionalist or is it the skeptical community? And it'll help you to be much more informed in being able to discern which way to go on these topics. So I'll link to the book, and I hope that you get a blessing from it.